starts with consultation. We sit down, we measure your feet in 8 places. Ball all the way up to your calf so it fits. Then we go to the leather choice. Leather depends really on, are you a real cowboy, do you need something durable, or are you just walking the streets and you want something more fashionably versatile? We pick your design and then you walk away. And I sit down, I cut all my patterns out per your measurements. I take the measurements up through it, make it, and then dry stitch whatever design you want without any thread on it. Then when you open it up, you've got the design that mimics. And then I always line my leather. I use what's called a heel slide, which allows your foot to slide in better. And I glue all that together. I stitch it all together. I sit behind the sewing machine, and let me grab it. The front panel, I make the back panel, I make the ear pulls, I make what's called the counter, and I make the vamp, which is that right there on a crimping machine. And then I sew all those together. At that point, I turn around and I put a leather insole on, and I shape it to your foot where it is. You can see where I made this last to match this person's foot. Then I cut a channel out and I pre-punch holes. And that takes, you know, just to do the channeling takes a good hour per shoe to do it right. And from that point, I take it and I do what's called lasting, and I take the leather and I wet it and I stretch it around the last. And it starts to take that boot form. At that point, when it's dried, I take it and I inseam it, which is tying everything together. Then I add the sole. I wood peg everything. I use no nails. And then I hand stack the heel with pieces of leather to the height. Then you take it and you sand it down and you grind it down, and then you just start polishing it up, staining the sole and everything else. They say there's over 360 steps. I've never counted them. But I create them the way they were made in the late 1800s to early 1900s, before automation. Most factories do, you know, anywhere. There's one factory that does up to 600 boots a day. It's all automated. People are punching buttons. Everybody has a different station. I go from beginning to end. It's all me. I think my favorite part is the inseaming, which is the whole insole right through here, because nobody sees it. Nobody sees this part, but if this part is made right, the boot will last, the boot will be comfortable. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't matter. The fit comes first. They actually say the last comes first. Before I even start on a boot, the top stitching or anything like that, I'll sit down and I'll build that last to your foot so I can see what that foot is going to look like, because everybody's foot's different, you know. And my goal is to take your foot and turn it into a beautiful boot. I want you to wear my boots. You know, I want you to fall in love with them because they fit like no other boot will. I like to think that you can wear them on Saturday, you can go out on Saturday night, and then Sunday morning you brush them off going to church. You know, that's what I try to create. A versatile, long-lasting boot.
You're a wild horse, baby, running wild and free, kicking, jumping, bucking, always fighting with me.